Right, welcome to episode 8 of Korea Talk. Again, no guest, but it's just going to be me, Peter, and Sam. So we can just jump right into the games of Wednesday's games. And how about KT versus Sbenu? Anything much to say
Well,
besides that Sbenu actually won a game?
it was weird. KT game one looked perfect, good. They clean up Sbenu like it's nothing. Well, maybe a tiny bit slow, but and then game two, who knows what the hell they were doing in game two? I don't know.
I feel like at this point, like Sbenu, like the kid in like your class is a little bit retarded. So at football, like everyone lets him score like a goal, once every PE session. So he doesn't feel like he's fucking that like a bunch of a blight whatever. Like, but it's just generally a bit of a retarded kid. Everyone's like a bit friendly around now. Like at first, everyone was kicking the shit out of him and he felt bad. But now everyone's kind of nice to him. And lets him like win a game like with like a funny champion or something. That's like, oh, you're really actually a good team, Sbenu, yeah. So that's how I feel about Sbenu right now.
Yeah,
Pretty true.
but still, it's like at least when the other teams lost to them, there was a reason. I didn't see much of a reason KT actually losing that game, except
As
them
I
just
said,
being
they're just
bad.
being nice to them. They're just being
Well,
nice.
they left AP Ezreal up and
Oh,
took
they did.
0 lockdown.
Yeah, okay, that's true. They did.
Like, who is going to lock the Ezreal down? Rumble? Evelyn?
Yeah, they did good.
Kog'Maw?
They did
Janna?
good.
Like, they had no ability to prevent him from doing what he does to win. I mean, other than that, they looked pretty good. They beat up the other team pretty handily.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
Spenu's not that great unless a team just completely hands them the game and pick and bans, in my opinion.
Yep.
What the worst part is if Sbenu has like not won that game, then KT would be like ranked like equal with KOO Tigers in like the standings right now. But because they decided to just lose a game, like and they're now like second place to KOO Tigers, like good one there. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of 2-1s in the past couple of weeks that have been very, very important for teams to try and 2-0. But
This week was all 2-1s except SKT and KT that one game, that one series. Only SKT seems to be able to 2-0 people right now.
it's really important to 2-0-2 people too, considering we're getting close to the end and
definitely everybody's like tied still.
Yeah, 6 through 4 or 3 through 6 is 6-point difference, and then even KOO is only 2-point difference above that. So I mean, every game counts, and I'm surprised that we saw 2 teams give up a game to Sbenu, which resulted in an infamous comment of they look like they're doing well and they're improving, which is not a true fact. Sbenu may be improving because they have played how many games now? They've played 31 games in the season. They are not a good team.
I don't want to harp on like this. Like I don't want to sound like I really hate Sbenu because I do, but like
I like
at the end of the
Sasin.
day,
He's interesting, but they're
Well,
Sasin and Ford
like,
bad.
at the end of the day, yeah, if you're in the situation which Sbenu are in and you can't improve. Like I feel like you could get like 4 kids down the park and me to play in Champions, and by the end of it, we'd know something and we'd be better League of Legends players. That doesn't mean that we'd be a good team. That doesn't mean that there's worth keeping us in the league. Like but we'd be better. Like I wouldn't get stomped in lane like so badly. Like fucking retarded thing to say.
Yeah.
They are. Sasin is the only person that you've been able to see markedly improve to be an actual threat. Catch, I don't understand how I don't understand how they have so many subs and they don't have a jungle sub for Catch, because he really needs to change his name to Caught and multiple times, because like when he gets put behind, he gets completely embarrassed.
And it's caught multiple times coming up. He's going to play that rank. And look, it's been caught multiple times again, living up to the namesake.
When Sbenu wins, it is completely based upon the team giving it to them, and Sassen being the person to put 4 idiots in a backpack and go, time to win. Come on, I know you may be like chopped up corpses by the time I get there, but I will drag that backpack across the finish line.
Yeah, we won. Well, sort of. Like, not really. Like, and like it's a point where next season, like fucking what's his name, Sassen's just gonna get picked up by some Chinese team. So like all this fucking improvement is actually fucking pointless. Like, it's gonna benefit Korea a lot.
The issue being is I don't know enough about the challenger scene, but I don't think they're gonna lose to a challenger team from the few games I've seen.
Dark Wolves, like I mean they've got Narakyle and like no, sorry, Korean Challenger is horrendous. Like because this week there was the interleague matches, which was particularly fun because it reminded you that Najin's sub team is actually better than their main team. I wonder why that is. But yeah, like let me go over the results again. 1 second, let me just find it. Nope, I'm on NACS. Nope, champions. Oh, for fuck's sake, Esportspedia is so shit. Right, here we are. Shout out to Esportspedia. So, like, let's have a look. Interleague matches, yeah, okay. So, IM lost to Pathos, who were the career. That was impressive of IM. Sbenu beat Tattoo, spelt with 1 T. Samsung beat MKZ. Bearing in mind that Samsung's sub team is actually just Samsung with without Crown. It's with one of their other shit mid lanes.
Ace or Blitz?
Hey, I think it's Ace. I think it's Ace. It's definitely not Bliss. Anyway. It's definitely not that shit. Then KT lost to Ever. KT's sub team lost to Ever. Ever, a team with a guy called Crazy Play. Their top laner is called Crazy Play. I mean, I like the guy. And Jenner beat Winners, the team with Gank Zero on it. Although I think he might have left them now. Who knows?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Najin stomped Dark Wolves. Absolutely fucking wrecked Dark Wolves. Like, Narakyle got his chase. He got the one champion he's a bit good on. And, like, Tank just picked Victor. And then Peanut just, like, picked Evelyn and went, like, 12-0-7 or something. Like, just fucking wrecked the whole world. Like, it was like, well, that game's done. Guess I've got attitude problems, huh, Najin coaches? The attitude of, I want to win. Ooh. Like Korean Challenge is the most dire thing ever. Like just for those interleague matches, I'm like, wow, maybe I'll watch this shit.
Whoa! We just finished watching NALCS.
No, I mean, literally, like some NLCS teams might win games in Korean Challenge. And that's how dire it is. It's like watching Team 8 versus some other shit NA team, repeated over and over again, except the fact that it's not white people playing, it's boring Asian people playing. Why, if you're going to watch boring Asian people play, you might as well watch them because they're better League of Legends. In this situation, I can't even confidently say that. Like, So yeah. But,
let's move on to CJ Entus Najin, because I believe I have at least a bit of rage for why are Korean teams picking Graves and thinking it's not a garbage pick.
Yeah, that was a surprise. I guess they figured out Space needs new champions, so pick the easiest AD carry in the game. It's Graves.
No, but like, I mean, if you're like previously a Graves master, yeah, I get why you might pick Graves. If you're Forgiven, like if Forgiven picked Graves, I'd be like, all right, mate, yeah, fair enough. You pick a Lucian, you want to pick Graves, like your team's like not that great. You've got to do something magical to win. I get the Graves right now, you know. You're gonna try and dig the enemy Graves. Oh, it's so funny, right? Space is shit, and you know what? He's especially shit on Graves. Like, the one bit of success he's found in his career is playing Sivir and Cogmore, 2 champions where he can just fucking do nothing all game and like still win. That's where his success comes from. So why is he picking Graves? Like,
Yeah, when KOO goes 10-3-5 and doesn't win,
Yeah.
you know
You're
you
sad.
know that was a difficult game for him to not want
Like,
to murder his team
that
during.
game was so close.
the only way I could rationalize space picking Graves is like in the CJT meeting, like, right, okay, so space, you're really shit. What? Yeah. So we need you to play a lane bully, so you're not gonna get your ass handed to you by OQ, so KOO can carry. Okay, well what champion do you want me to pick? Well we're just gonna see whatever OQ picks and you're gonna counter it. He's picked Sivir, boys, right. Let's load up LOL counter and let's see what counters that. Graves, brilliant. You're playing Graves, mate. And he's like, but I'm still going to lose lane. It's like, yeah, but this was where you might not die.
It worked.
30,
Kinda.
30
You won't
CS
lose
deficit.
as badly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
that was.
That wasn't the only criminal pick in there. Why the fuck's Goom picking Zed?
Yeah, that was a real killer in game 1. Fucking going back on Zed.
I have a question that goes beyond Goong picking Zed, and one we've already brought up multiple times. Why is Najin picking Goong?
Well,
I mean, there's an obvious reason why he picked Zed. Oh, I'm good at this champion, and I've been very good at him. My other champions have not been working out. I tried Kassadin, it was awful. So how about Zed? Nope. Okay.
I mean,
But like the problem is like even if Zed wasn't unnerfed, like he still wouldn't work in this current meta we're in because A, there's a fucking shit ton of tanks. B, if it's not a tank, it's got Zhonya's. So and like
I mean,
the only thing he's got to jump on is a Graves. Oh no, guys, we've killed the Graves. Like because that buckshot's not gonna wreck us. Like oh, and most AD carries builds play the Rune King, so he can't even reliably outduel an AD carry every single time now. Like, so even if Zed wasn't nerfed to fuck, he'd still be shit. But he's been nerfed, so he's shit.
it's like double shit. No, it's
That's what
typical
happens when
Riot,
Victor is
like.
banned in
Yeah.
a game right now. Is Victor is either banned or first picked by the enemy team. Is that
yeah.
Najin he has a very small champion pool of nothing.
Yeah.
Like I can't even believe he hasn't gone back to the Orianna. I mean, we've seen Orianna have success with other players, and it's a safer pick. And he used to play. I mean, he used to not be as good as it, but it's a safer champion, and you can just be like,
Hey,
"Hey, buddy,
I-
don't die."
I always thought Goong was like, reliable already. You could have picked TF. Goong's historically been quite a good TF.
Actually, yeah. This week it was.
And there was that game against KT, I think it was game 3 in OGN Spring, where Watch and Goong weirdly hard carried a game, the two of them, on Evelyn and TF. Watch even picked Evelyn, mate. Just bring out the TF. Let's do this, boys. Like, because that way, when Ezreal you can flank Ezreal better with the with the Twisted Fate ultimate. I can't remember what it's called right now. Sorry, quick shot.
Gate.
Whatever.
Destiny. It's Destiny
Yeah,
in that
Destiny.
case.
Gate.
And so he could have picked TF, and you can counter poke him. You've got the wave clear to push Ezreal constantly into the lane early on. You can pressure the side lanes. Najin needs to get his side lanes going in order to win. TF would have made perfect sense there. Why don't you pick TF, mate?
I mean,
Why are you practicing Zed and not TF?
they did it
This is my
Saturday, Friday.
This is my problem with Najin. It's not even like they're utilizing what shit players they choose correctly. Like, they've got shit, they continuously pick the wrong players and then put wrong players on wrong champions.
Yeah. That is indeed a problem.
Like, Najin could have easily won that series, even with Goong and Watch. They just needed to have some fucking clean drafts.
It's CJ. It's not impossible to fucking beat CJ right now.
Yeah.
My problem also is Duke has gotten. I mean, he's good on Makai, but the problem we have is Duke has to play a tank, and that means Goong has to do something. But yeah, when he gets his shitty champions, he can't do anything, and then OQ has to fucking try dual damage 1v9 on champions. He is not. I mean, we're gonna talk about Lucian later when against IM series, but. That's how you want OQ to. That's how you want OQ to play. That's how you want to win the games. Not fucking let Goong have to deal the damage, and play some back meta champion, which should never be picked right now. Or pick him Azrael and then he can still do shit. I mean, his Spectre is starting to get there, but everything else, fuck that.
Did CJ first pick the Ezreal?
I don't think so. Why would they?
No.
Why would
Because what annoys me is like when Oki was coming up on the Korean ladder, he was an Ezreal god, yeah. So like,
Flex,
if I remember correctly about that CJ draft, they kind of telegraphed that they were going to pick the Ezreal, which is why they had the Z counter pick. Why didn't Najin just think, why don't we just take away the Ezreal? We put Oki on a comfortable champion that he can hard carry with and wreck lane, like he's the weird sort of hybrid of Deft and Imp combined, and then we deny CJ's strategy, and then we put Gooing on Twisted Fate, and we got the whole fucking game won. Like,
but I guess
let's fucking straight.
Ezra was second round. He was the only things that Najin had picked at that point were Maokai and Sivir.
Yeah,
and then Ezreal's picked the second round blue side.
Yeah, it's
okay. Yeah.
They had 3 picks. They had 3 picks to counter that. They had Maokai, which is a great counter because he can teleport Home Guard into W onto to Ezreal and pin him down, where you can have follow-up CC. Where yes, the Twisted Fate could pop in too and card him as soon as he gets W. I mean,
yeah, and Litzbane is so strong right now.
Yeah, we saw in the IM series, like I said, we've seen Goong play Twisted Fate, and I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it does what he needs to do. He gets his other lanes ahead, and it's not like other teams have shown the lack of ability to beat Ezreal, and Ezreal's picked with Graves, so it was obviously going mid. Like, it's not a completely broken champion. Yes, if it gets going, it can get really terrifying to beat, and if you don't see it coming and you don't get CC and lockdown, you're gonna be fucked. But it's not like, oh, well, they picked it, GG.
Yeah, CJ showed it as well against Sbenu. Like, they didn't.
I'm pretty sure this AP Ezreal pick has a negative win rate in nearly every single league. Like,
I don't think so.
It seems to lose more games than it wins.
In Korea, it's positive, I think, or at least around 50. No,
I think it might be really close. I think it might be just 1 loss more than win.
But I mean, obviously the AD Ezreal skews it.
Well,
yeah,
but.
Yeah, well, you can. It's hard to tell. You should have to look at every game as single-handedly, because it's been picked a couple times. AD as well.
I mean, there were positives for Najin in this series because they displayed some really good team fighting.
Yeah, okay,
like,
yeah.
There were moments where you watched this and you were like, this team fighting is legit as fuck.
Yeah,
like this is top tier LPL level team fighting they're going in with right now. Like, Najin right now can team fight with the best of teams. The problem is they put themselves in such a shit comp with such a
and such a deficit as well.
Yeah, like it's just like Najin like selfish picks and not thinking about like team comp or like that's how they get themselves into these logical like champion choices and whatnot. And like picking champions they don't really know how to play or out of meta and stuff like that. But in this situation, like they actually had a fairly decent team fighting comp. But the Goong Z brought nothing to that. And if they just picked Twisted Fate, they would have done so much more. They would have actually wrecked every team fight. I
mean, even behind they had so many strong fights, which doesn't even know how they won game 2, even though they also were behind. Like every game they were behind so much. But
especially
the first 2 games were great, and then the third one, just looking at the picks and bans as I saw it was coming out, I was like, how the fuck are they going to get onto that back line?
Yeah, and like. The problem is right now as well is like losing to CJ is kind of embarrassing with like the stories of how lazy their players are and how like Shy just doesn't play solo queue at all apparently, like, you know, sorry Dexter, like just apparently never does any solo queue, like like for someone like Duke who's clearly like so motivated and such like a practice machine, like, or Goong even who still probably plays like 15 hours a day or whatever, like it's just bizarre to see them lose, like. You know, I don't know.
The first 2 games were so great, and it was so close. And then you see the third game where they pick Sivir, Kennen, like AP Ezreal, Evelyn. I'm just looking at this team and going, okay, so Maokai's going to go in, and then how are you going to get follow-up? The only follow-up you have is run at them. Well, Coco has a Zero Wall, and he's good enough to prevent that. Thresh has a box that's going to slow your running at them. They have a Shen to protect the space and Coco. Like, there are so many things that are going to prevent them from just being able to, well, it's just a Sivir comp, just press R and run at them. They were clearly prepared to prevent that.
It was 0.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
the whole series, Najin didn't really try to change their strategy much. Every game, Sivir, every game, Evelyn, because they had to, because CJ always got the Rek'Sai, which I don't get how they get even
Yeah.
Rek'Sai in game two.
what is with this Korean trend as well of giving away Rek'Sai and taking Evelyn?
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, they have Rek'Sai now. We only have Evelyn left, and they're picking into it. I don't get that either.
Let's pick the champion that can negate my passive.
it's
Yeah.
weird. Like, it sometimes works still, but because it's still good for flanks sometimes. But I don't get it. It's so.
But it was the same. Yeah, we'll get into another series where that crime happened as well. But
Yeah,
you can't just go picking Evelyn into Rek'Sai. I don't think that's a good thing to do.
I mean, I was glad he picked Lee Sin in game 2, but then game 3 he went back to Evelyn. It's like, all right, never mind. So back to the counter pick yourself, because why not?
And that was the one game they won.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
They had an incredible comeback with some again amazing team fighting.
Yeah.
Watch's Lee Sin team fighting was actually really legit.
Well, I've never had issues with Watch's team fighting in any champion. I have issues with Watch's getting to team fighting stage. Of Watch it. I've seen him get completely destroyed like the first 10 minutes of a game by jungler. Oh god, most of the junglers have left, but by good junglers that just walk into his jungle and just straight up murder him like time after time. But no, I mean he's always been a quality team fighter. Once it goes late, he knows what to do, and he has experience makes a lot of it. And I mean, that game, those first 2 games were ridiculous, and it was just, it was kind of sad to see Najin fuck up so heavily.
KOO was
in the first game.
KOO in that series was so fucking disgusting good.
Oh yeah. KOO
is
beast.
Definitely
the
second best mid laner in Korea.
His Azrael play was genius. Like how he even predicted Goom.
Oh my god, that
was
cute.
so good.
Oh.
You just knew that Goom was going over that wall. Like poof, nope.
It's like I know you're gonna go over there, so I'm just gonna prep that and not even give a shit. I'm just gonna walk away. You got someone else to kill too.
This guy.
I mean, I would definitely suggest that's probably one of the better series to watch of the week.
Even though
it was still sad. The third game was sad if you're a Najin fan. It's just so fucking dumb.
Every game was sad because they got
triggered
so much, but at least the team fighting and the flanks were real. I mean, they had some sick flanks with Evelyn, and then a Makai TP follow up. It's amazing how good they are at flanks. You just need to, maybe pick more TF and then actually get more mid game with an even goal lead.
So, the problem with Najin is the only way they can get to Worlds is by winning that gauntlet again. So that's the only way they're going to do it. And you know what? They're probably going to go into this gauntlet as the bottom seed. So you know what? It'll be the same shit. It always is. Now, there's a part of me that thinks, you know what? They could do it. Like, they could fucking do it. Because they did it last year. No one thought they could do it then. But, and also, there are these weird glimpses of them being a really good team. Again, we focus on this team fighting again. There are these weird glimpses where this team's legit. But then they're their own worst enemies. If they can just sort out their shit, then maybe they can do it. But I just feel like every time they just let's make this really hard. I don't want to go to Worlds easily. We've got some of the best players in Korea. Let's not play this game on easy mode. Let's make it as hard as fuck.
Well, at least they're not as bad as Jin. They go full hard mode every game.
Yeah. Right. The worst part is if because there was that rumor that KOO was going to get bought out by a Chinese team between spring and summer. If that had actually happened, CJ would be facing relegations right now.
They'd be off the map. We would be talking about the bottom 4. We'd be talking about the bottom 5.
Samsung will beat them.
The CJ Corp just needs to just keep giving money to KOO. Just please stay.
Does that explain why Space is still on the team?
Yeah,
they can't. They're paying all the money. They have no money left for Shy Space.
That's why Shy's not playing solo queue because he's not even they said, we're not even giving you it out. They made his paycheck.
He has to work.
They made his paycheck the hourly rate for when he plays a competitive match now. So he's well, I'm doing it in practice. Fuck this shit.
Okay.
I'm laughing, but it's most likely true and saddening. It's ridiculous, yeah. If they didn't have If they didn't have KOO, they'd be fucking dead in the water. I mean, they even most games they win with Azir. He's the one engaging, and just like, well, I guess I have to engage and then win the team fight
that
myself.
last engage in that third game was so disgusting behind it in Nexus turrets.
He is, I would say, without a doubt, the second best
Yeah.
mid laner.
Yeah.
And again, Faker is just like Faker is cheating when you try and like compare people. Like Faker is, oh, I was playing the game with cheat codes. That's why I was so good. I got the world record speed time, guys, because I used cheat codes. Like great. That doesn't count, moron.
But it does count.
So-
She doesn't.
Talking about Faker, we now have KOO's SKT. Let's not go too deep because these teams are our two topics for today. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of weird to
KOO
see KOO
lost
pull
his
out
games at the
Cassia.
No, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
game one. It was like, yep, this is over. Like the second,
Kuro
the
Cassia-
second they first picked Corki, it was like, yep, this game is over.
Like, so Smeb's a decent tank player, but number one, his strength is not on tank. His strength is on carry champions. Number two, KOO Tigers rely on their side lanes getting ahead, and their mid laner playing a supportive mid lane style, which will enable their side lanes to get ahead. But in these games, they put Kuro on the carry champion, and they put their side lanes on the supportive champions. So it's like, well, what are your win conditions here? You're expecting Kuro to dumpster Faker? Like, I'm pretty sure
on the bad
you could play
matchup.
that matchup like 1,000 times, and Faker would win 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Like,
He would.
so, like, and you know what? Like, Marin looked good because Smeb couldn't do anything. Like,
He has
Like-
to pick a counter matchup.
He got a counter match. Like we've seen in the past couple weeks, Marn has been pulling out this. I guess it's not really a pocket fizz anymore.
No,
He's been pulling out a fizz and just
Fizz is getting
dumping on
standard
bad
pick
players in
now.
Maokai, and then
Yeah.
picking and then going around the map and just destroying the map with it. And yes, it's been against worse players, but there's a key factor. It's as Maokai, you can't do shit because you want to build one type of resist. And he's like, well, I do lots of damage of all kinds.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's worse Shyvana. Like, also you can get away from it. 'Cause, like, Shyvana 2.0 for top lane right now. Kills all tanks. You can't do anything back against it.
And
yeah, but it's got crowd control as well.
Exactly, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they picked Maokai, expecting him to do like he is one of your carries. Why are you putting him on a worse matchup?
Like, KOO for some reason like bought in the hype from the last couple of weeks because SKT just keeps picking every other game. Keeps picking their standard comp, Jenna, Corki, and Maokai, and they were like, oh, if we pick away Jenna, Corki, and Maokai, we might actually beat them this time. It's like.
Yeah.
They just use this now and then because they want to win without trying, and then it's like, oh yeah, but now we picked us up. We can counterpick
Yeah.
with Fizz, who we played multiple times. Bang, we'll just play Alistar. I mean, we have Alistar is also up, like, and then they get Rexa as well.
Yeah, I still think that KOO Tigers could beat SKT in a best of 5, but not when they pick themselves into that kind of fucking shithole. Like,
Yeah, no, they fucked themselves.
we can't win a game like that. That's not how you win League of Legends, mate. Sorry.
And
I would say against SKT for any other Korean team, it seems like they should stop trying to ban just whatever they want to try and ban out. They should be banning to make a certain comp and try and execute that comp. Like what really is going to beat this comp? Okay, ban those champions, and then we're going to pick this and hope that we can execute this better than whatever SKT is going to do. Because if you're trying to play SKT again with meta versus meta, you are horribly fucked.
every
Yeah, you
Korean team is fucked right now trying to outpick ban SKT. You can't right now as a Korean team because they just
You
mind
could-
game
you could-
themselves.
But you could give it a good go. You could
Yeah, of course.
not counter pick yourself. Like,
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the problem.
Yes.
Like, they need to stop trying to think they can outpick them and just pick something that's good, that you themselves can play, and then try and beat them fair and square. Not trying to outpick and ban them is not working because they have Faker, so they actually literally cheats by having Faker in their team.
Yeah, and the overblown on Wolf's performance in this game as well. Like, you know what? Wolf's good on melee engaged supports. Like, fucker, wow, you know, that's amazing. I didn't know that before. Like, he's always been good on melee engaged
Yeah.
supports. Like,
Had a very good Alistar.
He
Which is
had a
why
good
it's
Alistar, and he had a
funny why
decent
they pick
Leona.
away Channel.
Yeah.
They pick away Channel. Like, well, Wolf's
I mean,
Alistar is
Wolf's
super
been
good
playing
as well.
better than normal, but he's not like he's not the amazingness that our other supports we've seen that have gone to China and have shown up. I mean, yes, he's definitely playing very very well right now, but
He doesn't
when
have
you
to.
think of SKT, I'm still thinking of like Faker is the only thing that pops in my mind is like, oh yeah, he's clearly the best person to touch this video game.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could see the actual big band right now because I kind of can't remember. I remember Corky, and then they got Fake, then
Yeah,
they
I can
got
open it up.
Victor, and I guess they picked Rek'Sai as
It was
well.
Corky, Victor, yeah, Corky, Victor, Rek'Sai, John Maokai,
And then
his Cog,
the Janna Maga.
yeah, Cassio, Evelyn, and then Alistair was final pick.
Yeah. I mean, they even had the luxury of last picking their support to SKT because cool.
And it was Alistair,
Yeah, well, exactly.
who we've seen go first pick many times.
Yeah, it's no, they should
And
have
then KOO.
fucking picked a Victor. Like you don't.
KOO on red side, we're gonna hide the Cassidin. Yeah.
And why have they stopped? Why have they stopped picking Varus?
I don't know why Curry stopped picking Barrage actually. I was quite surprised.
He looks really good on it.
Yeah, that's also true.
They're afraid Marin's gonna jump in and solo him, I guess.
Yeah, but he did that anyway on Cassiopeia. So
And like Rumble was up, so they could have perfectly gone Rumble Varus. Would have been pretty good, definitely against Zero. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck these big bands are. And it's like that old counter matchup, but it's. But yeah, it doesn't work that fucking well. Because your scaling is way too slow still. Any counter matchup that Keston has is still like fucking risky because you have to get there. And why would you ever fucking risk going a scaling comp against SKT who win every game under 30 minutes? I don't fucking.
So then you had Faker by Nashers. Do you either of you have any
I
thought on why?
well, I know
mean,
what did he build Nash's on again?
on Zero.
He went
First item.
Zero, first side of Nashers, and then he went Zonia's and Deathcap.
I like that actually he went Deadcap this time, because last time he did the Stinger thingy, he didn't go Deadcap so long that he had like no damage. It's good for like it synergizes a lot because you get more attack speed and CDR, so you get even more attack speed. But as long as you don't apply it on the soldiers, I still do not get why you would really buy it. Just for your actual auto attack damage, which you should never use. I mean, it's okay for pressure. I mean, he put a lot of pressure down early because with the harassment. But I don't see that much of a benefit with it. Just get Morello and you do the same thing, and you actually have mana regen then. I don't get the Nashers, and that's.
It was just really weird.
Yeah, people build it for some reason. I mean, I get it. It feels nice, but it doesn't seem very effective.
What's funny is that you see fakers like trolley shit, like him do something trolley and style on people, and then you see like shit North American mid laners like do it and then lose and they go, why isn't it working? It's like, well, because even Faker doesn't actually think it works. Like,
yeah, the fact that
Enoch's playing Master Yi, like that's a good idea.
Yeah, okay, that's
Probably because he likes to watch other players like try and pick mid Aurelia and go, wait, they thought I was being serious and I picked this champion?
I feel like at this point he's like, what else could I pick to see if anyone's copied it? Like what about if I played Bard mid? Would people copy that? Like, is he just trolling the entire Western community right now?
I
Like,
think he is. He's trying to.
That and
Yeah.
solo queue.
Taric mid. I know if I pick Taric mid, then someone will copy it. Like some guy will be like, no, it's really good against like all armor comps, like Taric mid. Like the burst is insane. Like he's just styling on people, man. Stop trying to read into that shit.
Some got screwed that second game.
So we're gonna go deeper into both of these teams. So let's move on to day 3, to Friday. Another abysmal day of another 6-hour or 6-game day.
I love them 7
This time,
hour days.
thanks to Rebel, Anarchy, and Samsung. And anything you say about this besides Yasuo is not a good pick.
Yeah, I think
and
it's,
that game was awful.
I love that Crown went full Bliss and went
AP,
Fizz
Fizz
mid, yeah. It's like, oh, I'm doing this for you, Bliss. Show right to you, you never got to play it, but I'll play it for you.
Did they pick? Yeah, the Yasuo wasn't even last pick. Like, he was.
No, I was somewhere in between.
He was picked second round red side. Yeah.
You know, maybe they thought the sick flex to top lane or something.
I don't know. The only thing I see when I see Samsung games is the wasted potential they have.
It's Fury.
The fact that Fury is good, Crown's pretty decent, and KOO really needs to go if they want to improve significantly.
Yeah. You just want to put Fury in a better
Like,
team.
I think they've hit the cap for their team, and they're not going to be much better than maybe take some games off CJ if it's the right day.
Just imagine Fury putting on CJ, how much better that team would be. They would actually have a secondary carry.
Yeah, and you could move Crown to Najin. You could move fucking any. There are so many mid laners you could move to Najin.
Well, let's not say Crown's better than Goon.
Yeah,
Let's not go
actually don't.
fucking
Crown
crazy.
is a defensive player. He is exactly what they need.
But
They've got tank, okay?
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. But I'm saying there are so many There's so many players that you could move, and they even have one of them on their fucking team.
Yeah. So they've got the best one on their team. You don't need the fucking pretenders.
They
They've
don't.
got
They
the
have
best one on their
GBM, GBM, Kuzan, EasyHoon.
Ugh.
team. Yeah,
Any
but
of them are fine.
Yeah, but tank is the only player they need. So why they're not gonna waste any? They haven't got any money anyway. Why always spend the fucking lunch money on some other guy?
Well, talking about Najin, I mean, is there anything else you guys have left to say about that game of set between Samsung? Those great games.
Iksu fucking got MVP and then he got swapped out
What?
the next game. I know.
Oh,
he
God,
didn't. No, he
that's-
didn't. He didn't. Never mind.
No, that was last week.
It was weird to see Anarchy do nothing but basically split push.
Yeah, right.
So I have no at all answer for it. Like, I was like, how can you not know how to handle split push? Like, you know what I mean? It was just like this is just a failure in the strategical phase. Like, it just seems like in Samsung scrims, people only team fight against them. They're like, what about if we just split push against them? Oh, they don't know what to do. Oh, brilliant. Okay, won this game.
They almost 2-0 them. They got so lucky last game. And their second game, Anarchy was too greedy.
Yeah.
So they got the fucking end the game, like no health, and then come back.
And that was so ugly so early. So many kills.
He also almost won. But yet he didn't. He failed.
So the same day we had another 3 games where Najin again cost himself 2 points by not winning 2-0 against IM and actually giving up the first game.
I mean, they got fucking dumpstered game 1. I have no idea what OQ was doing that game. He just tried to get caught every time by Ignore.
Oh my god,
He was
yes.
like, oh look, I'll start.
Oh,
Fucking dead.
that was the game where Ignor's playing well, but OQ is like, Ignor could be crippled and OQ's feeding him these kills.
He's like walking into melee range, like I'm not even gonna force you to flash me. I'm just gonna walk into your headbutt range so you can pulverize me. Like,
Not
maybe,
even that,
maybe
there was like, I'm gonna walk into pulverize range so you can walk behind me while I'm in the air and headbutt me backwards.
I was like, oh god, what's OQ doing? Like, he had a real OQ moment that game. Like, he does it once in a while, yeah. Like, kid's talented, but like sometimes he's just like, I think I'm just gonna play badly in this game. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, I would say the next 2 games show he's talented, but that game was just like was completely different player in the booth. It was ridiculous.
His build was also like going that cheap ass Static Shiv build on Kog'Maw.
He didn't get Trinity for us.
Fucking. I mean, the good thing about 24's on Kog'Maw is that you get so much extra mobility with it. And then you go fucking Shiv. Yeah, you and Shiv play Rune King, like, so he even has like less damage. It's like, oh my god, okay. And then you did all that other stupid shit.
The worst part was that Najin like got a lot of their power picks. Like Pure got Thresh, like, and Watch got his Gragas,
Goom
and
got
they lost.
Victor.
Victor?
Yeah, and they lost. like because OQ was just like, I don't like the idea of my team winning.
Yeah, that game was like, what the...
We can't get too many points now, guys. It's too difficult to hold all of them at the same time.
Yeah, how can we do the gauntlet run if we're not on the bottom seed?
What do you get for? Yeah, the whole. I don't even get why people even give watch Gragas. I mean, I am giving them again game afterwards. Come on, dude. Do not give watch Gragas, not for free at least.
Yeah, but it didn't matter in this game because
Yeah, it was
not in the
OQ.
first game, but second game it did.
Oh yeah, OQ's second 2 games are ridiculous.
Yeah, they were pretty.
It was
It's
painful
because
to
the-
watch Sonstar and Roar attempt to CS slowly.
because the coach just walked by him and just went Zephyr, and he was like, "I'm gonna play well again." Like he had PTSDs, like flashbacks. It was like, "Oh, I don't want to get benched for Zephyr again." Like sub team's been winning. Like I'm not the one who's getting benched here. Like if I fucking carry these next 2 games, like.
Oh, they said Zephyr, I must play Zephyr's champion that he actually showed up on for 3 days in a row. Play
Yeah.
Lucian and dump with it and be like, see, I'm still better than him on his best champ.
Yeah. Well, the worst part is, right, is I'm just going to go back to like his sub league, yeah, okay? It's Najin's sub team, okay? Their top laner is actually an AD carry main.
Yeah.
So actually, what they've done is they've taken an AD carry main, made him play top lane, so Zephyr can play AD carry on their sub team.
Well.
Like, just bench him, mate. Just bench him, like.
Well, technically it's benched.
He must know someone high up in the corp.
He must be like the owner of Najin or something at this point. Like they've managed to negotiate it so he doesn't get to play first league anymore. But like, the fuck if they're like, fuck if he's not letting him play at all. Like, I'm still an important part of this team, motherfucker.
I'm still surprised he's old enough to continue to play. I thought he'd go off to like he'd have to do military service by now.
I think he's done it.
You probably
I thought
did
what?
before.
Really?
Yeah, he'll have done it.
Who's that?
Zephyr, I'm pretty sure he's done it. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's
Like-
just-
I know Kane's done his military service.
Yeah, I thought I thought it was only him that had done it though before.
No, I'm pretty confident that most Korean players who are over 25 have done their military service.
Okay.
So, Zephyr, Kane, Hom,
I know Hum
like,
did it. Yeah.
likely Trace, given the fact he's about 45. Who are some other ones? And maybe Marin's done his because he's like 24 or something. Weirdly, but that keeps getting referred to young talent. You're 24, not really that young talent anymore, are you? Just vaguely not season 2 talent is a better way of describing it. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Yeah, those are probably like some of the big players who've done their military service already. So I think it's only like 6 months long or something. So you can kind of do it really quickly, especially if you do it and then do your programming career. Your career, if you're Zephyr.
Hey, he'll still be here.
Yeah. You can't even, I mean,
Until I was saying until
Only
league's over in Korea, Zephyr will be playing.
yeah.
For
You
nothing.
haven't even got. Najin fans can't even look forward to military service getting rid of Zephyr. Like he's already done it. At this rate, the Korean government needs to get him to make him do it twice. Save Najin.
Oh, we lost the records. We just need to have you stand here for 6 months.
Shit. Please have you do it again, mate. Thanks.
But yeah, so let's we got to see Fizz in a great skin, and literally make that game last another 10 minutes, which is a fabulous Ziggs ability. Is that every single player on that team was falling apart, and Frozen Ziggs was like, "Oh hey, look, you're getting close to the tower." Nope. Hey, look,
Yeah.
you're getting close. Nope.
Yeah. I was like, oh god, is this season 4? Like, it's so obnoxious.
Eventually, Najin got her 10 balls and actually fucking ended the game.
Well, that's the thing. Ziggs doesn't like actually give you the ability to win the game. It just makes the loss a
No.
bit slow. Like,
You know, it
Yeah,
just makes the loss painful.
Definitely the Baron. God.
I
I mean, we got to
Sans.
finally see
Yep.
some TF play from Goon. It was good.
Yeah, and he looked like decent on it, which is for Goong is fucking.
He used goes really well in all the team fights against Rumble and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah,
this
like
was amazing.
Goong still like you can tell he's a very competent player with the way that he uses
Yes.
some of the skills, his positioning, that kind of thing. Yeah, his problem is he plays champions that aren't suited to his style at all. The champions that he consistently picks champions that aren't in the meta and aren't that good anyway. Like I said, like the guy still goes off on LeBlanc. Like if LeBlanc was good, he'd go off on it. But like LeBlanc's shit. If Zed was good, he'd go off on Zed. But Zed's shit. So what's he got left?
Well,
If Nidalee was good, he'd go off on Nidalee. But Nidalee's shit.
Well, yeah. Italy's not a mid anymore.
And his AP Ezreal is a joke. So
Oh yeah, God damn. This is not really what the team is good on.
But I just that OQ, I still can't. That OQ's bot lane.
Okay,
It was
solutions.
depressing to see Roar and Sunstar attempt to like get gold in those games. They were so far behind.
It was ridiculous.
oh yeah, he really shit. Noki really shit on the IM bot lane. Like he really fucking shut
Yeah,
them.
Like
yeah.
30 CS up already at like 6 minutes or something. It's fucking dope. And then like, and the fucking best part is he goes BF and then just gets an Everest blade. So he starts stacking up even more gold while the fucking enemy bot lane can't do shit. And it's only good on Lucian anyway. You see him fucking get 2 static shift procs while he's clearing 1. That's how good static shift is on Lucian. You get static shift procs within the next 2 seconds. Just because you fucking reset the whole time.
But it was a bit awkward for Expression to play against his old teammates and get owned though. I bet he was like, I've made a bad decision there.
It's a bit hilarious to see Expression continue to play like, oh, I'm gonna play Jax, Aurelia, Shyvana,
Yeah, the
Vladimir,
Shyvana pick was fucking...
and then throw in one Gnar game. It's like, oh, I heard new champions are made since I stopped playing in a good top lane.
The Gnar got banned though.
I'll give it a go.
After the loss, the Gnar got banned twice, so...
I feel like
Or
because
Expression.
if you would like Duke as a player, right? He's not like Save and he's not like McNoon. He's like historically, he's like Expression really. Like the guy wants to be like Expression, yeah. So I got the impression of that series. He was like, I'm gonna fucking show Expression that I'm the real like I'm the real solid top laner in Najin. Like I'm the one with the good lane in here. Like
I'm not the one that's
Right.
gonna forget an R in my name.
yeah. Or Druk, Duka. That's a much better name, Duka. Fuck, like he did forget an R.
Ugh.
Okay,
Yeah,
next series.
it's just well, the only thing surprising about Last Thing is it's just surprising that they were able. They let themselves lose more points, and that for Najin that is 4 points. They could be secured at least 8th. Like they could have been tied with KT Rolster at this point. At
Yeah.
7, they could be tied 3rd, but now they're 5th. And it's just come on. Points are too important against the bottom 4 teams. You need those 3 each.
Yeah, really.
And then we have another team. We're moving on to CJ Sbenu, where Sbenu again gets a win. Thanks, Helper, Trick, and Max for losing your team another 2 points.
CJ didn't use subs for almost a year, and then like, well, we need all the points we can get. Let's better use our sub team right now, because I don't
Let's
know.
use all 3 at the same time.
And we have our carries in there, boys. It's gonna be enough. Poor Coco.
It's like
Play Chase.
I could see pulling a couple in, like, oh yeah, we can move 1 or 2 in a game, but 3 is also you didn't put an 80 carry sub in, CJ, so you really are playing with 3 subs, a kind of okay, terrible mid 80 carry, and then going, hey Coco, here you go, and they don't first pick Azir. It's like, we need you to do everything.
Oh, they had to secure Rumble, man. They had to secure Rumble for Helper.
Yeah, Soul's Rumble is apparently too good to be allowed to play. Oh wait, it went 0-5-4.
Helper's quite an aptly named player. Though he will definitely help the enemy team win a game. Like I'm here, guys. I'm helping.
Yeah.
I can only hope that CJ and unless Jin does something to turn around, do not represent Korea. I mean, even at this point, I'm okay with Najin over those two. But jeez, the first game was embarrassing. It's like, oh right, we need to win, right? Winning is the objective. It's not losing. And then they put their players in, and we're like, oh right, this is Sbenu. I guess we win.
Yeah.
So a lot more.
The only other interesting point was, holy shit, Mad Life, Braum completely made Sassen irrelevant. Like, they gave Sassen AP Ezreal, and we've seen AP Ezreal, this game right here, if you want to see AP Ezreal and why it's not a great pick, fucking watch CJ versus Sbenu Game 3 and just look at Mad Life and
Big
just
Braum.
count the ults. He just is like, well, all your damage right there? Nope.
It is highlighted.
Nope.
It's. Oh yeah. No, it's. Brom is a fucking legitimately good pick, and it definitely is against Ezreal. So.
Yeah, it's a really good anti-poke pick, and especially with how many teams seem to think they can run poke. Like you just pick Braum, and like the poke just over. Like, so it's like, well, you know, like, and that's just like AP Cogmore poke. Like,
Yeah, that's the only thing.
if it can't go over the Braum, then it's fucked.
It was surprising to see them do so well, and it was ridiculous how everywhere Mad Life was with that shield. Just like Sassen, you want a blue buff? Nope. You gonna try nope. Dragon? Nope.
The cook was also.
So, now we have KT versus Jin, and we have the collapse of Jin. I don't want to say too much because I like Jin. I like Jin still, but it seems like they're just a better Zinix. Like there's Zinix Storm that is playing in a weaker Korea that can actually win games in a show up and doesn't have their talent instantaneously poached the second the season the 6 games they play end.
It might happen. I don't know why they like they lose a game which just was pretty shitty to begin with. From them, they started just was just bad, and then they're like, oh well, let's just swap out our other players, get a whole new strategy.
Let's swap out our best player.
Yeah, that's their best player as well. I mean, it was good they got GBM in, but fuck, you don't. Why would you ever replace Chaser when you're playing versus Score? You legitimately could argue is second best jungler right now in Korea. So
I feel like in that second game, like Jin coaches were like, just change it all. But what's weird is they changed all the players, but kept the champions pretty much the same.
Yep.
So like they were like, oh, we'll change the play. It wasn't the comp that was the problem. It was the players that we used. So let's change the players. Like, oh, just really baffling decisions.
I wouldn't say Score is the second best jungler in Korea. I would say pick a Score is the second best jungler.
I said you could sometimes argue it's sometimes. But yeah, when he got Gragas game 1.
Peanut is still technically
well, jungler who actually gets to play in Champions.
It's Peekaboo is all over. Like these 2 games show you why you want this guy on your fucking team.
Whoever at SKT was like, oh yeah, we'll let him just go away. They really fucked up.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the issue there is whoever in SKT is like, yeah, you can leave. Wow, what happened to EasyHoon? Like, if you're gonna keep EasyHoon under lock and key to make sure he doesn't go to another team to improve them, why are you letting the better player leave and improve a team? Like, if you're not gonna let EasyHoon go, Peekaboo is clearly the better of the 2 when it comes to completely transforming a team.
Yeah, I think Tom as well in SKT and even Bengi. I think I would say Bengi's better than Score.
Yeah, I just Peekaboo makes Score look like a god.
Yeah.
Like that, the game one against Chaser, there was literally nothing he could do.
No,
The
that's
second he got killed, the game was over pretty much. I mean, when he tried to go in for the red buff and he had to tumble over the wall and got killed there, there was literally he either did that or he just was like, well, time to slowly cut my wrists with a very, very dull razor for the next 30
that's
minutes
why
or
I
40
don't
minutes.
fucking get that they decided like, oh, let's fucking bring in Winged for the first time because Chase had like one bad game, which was not even his own fault.
Yeah.
How is
But
that
he didn't
not?
really have a bad game.
He
Like, there
did
was
look
nothing
he
could do.
did look really mad though.
Chase.
Yeah, it's one of them. You don't know what's going on in comms or what's going on in the after games talks or anything like that. But
I
you
don't
know what?
tweet.
I'd be pissed if I was. I'd be pissed if I was fucking with Chaser as well. Like, you know, guy's an S tier Casper jungler. Like, he deserves better than that shit.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating. Like he's usually always mad, and then Trace is just sitting there.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Literally.
Like I just need to see Trace just needs to start chain smoking the entire time, because that is like the image I have of him, is he's just sitting there going, whatever, still playing, fuck all you youngins.
Yeah.
And then you have Chaser who's just like, seriously, we can't find anything else. We can't find anything else.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Worst part about
This is
Jin Air
pretty
and
sad to see.
worst part about Jin Air and their constant subbing of players out is they let the one player go who they really probably should have kept, which was Sky, their old top lane sub who went to like a Chinese LSPL team. Like they really should have probably kept that guy and and then, you know, maybe kept Pilot and that's it. Like Pilot and Sky, and then just kept all the other players actually on the roster. That would have been a much better decision, I think.
Well, I think Jin Air's kept so many other of their players too, because they were only in two or three tournaments of champions before the sister team ban within champions was implied. So I mean, they had teams and they were both improving. One was clearly improving over the other one, but when they kind of combined the better parts of both, they didn't. It seems like they didn't want to just dump the bad players.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's coming. They're pulling Najin of Spring Split, where they were like, we're just gonna swap players out we're just gonna take a board and just go, and it landed on Winged.
Yeah.
You're up.
It should never land
Like,
on
what?
Wings. Chaser should never fucking get replaced.
I was gonna go get some food with this chick, but I never thought you were gonna play me. I guess I can play. Do you have a uniform I can wear? Because I did not come prepared in the least bit.
Yeah.
That's it, Chaser. Take off your clothes.
It just seems ridiculous. Like, oh man. I mean, I can understand GBM and Kuzan switching. They're very similar. I still think GBM is better at the moment. But I can understand them switching, but it was like, wait. They're pulling out literally their best player. Because, yeah, GBM is amazing and does great things. And his Victor flanks have won his team games for... I don't understand how it occurs, but they have. But Chaser he's the one that gets the team rolling.
Yep.
And it was...
He definitely is.
It was pretty nuts. So, again, Peekaboo, that level 1, fuck you, I'm gonna come into your base, flay you, and then you either blow summoners or fucking die. And lose,
That's just one of those things where it's just like, can we just surrender now? Like, I actually don't want to play this game anymore. Like,
there's
a
like
my lane.
remake screen, please.
There's a level 1 Thresh in my lane. Like, I actually don't want to play anymore. Like, has anyone got a Hearthstone account I can just play on for a bit? Like, what's the point of me playing this fucking shit? Like,
because it led right into a few early kills, and you just saw the CS difference, and it just started to grow, and you're like, well, this game really should end now. Oh, it's been 5 minutes. This game should really end now. Can you forfeit at 20, please?
Yeah. FF at 20 noobs.
I am pretty sad though that they were zero. That they actually gave up a kill. Trace got the 8 kill on Nagne.
No, yeah, second
Game 2. Yeah,
almost got perfect game twice. What do you think
Okay,
about
well-
no? What do you think about Arrow and Kog'Maw? Is he decent?
Yeah, he's alright. I mean, in this
Good on
series, like,
before.
yeah, in this series, he couldn't help but not be look good
Well, yeah,
because,
of
like,
course,
there was
but
nothing that
he played.
Jenna could do.
He picked it before as well.
Yeah, but you know what? He's definitely Arrow's good on champions where he's not required to make massive plays on. That's why he can't play Vayne. That's why he can't play Callista. I mean, he obviously is a Draven guy, but you can't play Draven in this meta anyway. So, but what he is definitely good at is cleaning up, and Cogmaw's a champion designed to clean up. So,
What did he play in their winning when they won?
What do you mean? He played.
I'm pretty sure Kog'Maw when they won when they won champions last
I
summer.
played a lot of Cogmaw, I think.
Yeah, that was the Kog'Maw era right there. So he must have played Kog'Maw.
Yeah,
Or Tristana.
Kog'Maw.
One of the two.
Yeah,
Kog'Maw.
again, like, he's good at cleaning up. He's good at long range champions and Civic, because everyone's good at Civic because you just press R and then it's done. So
It's a silver now.
yeah,
Yes, he played 2 games of Corki, 3 games of Kog'Maw in the finals. Okay, so yeah, he's back to the meta of Kog'Maw Corki.
Yeah, it's good for him.
Yeah, I mean he's okay at it. He does have an issue where he's going to cost the team wins, and I can guarantee you that if they go to Worlds, he's going to be the reason why they will lose to Chinese teams is because
Sure.
he will get punished and fall behind in CS, and there's literally nothing you can do, even if you're the best support in the world. Pick who.
well, Gorilla's still a guy.
Oh,
Gorilla
Dominic is gonna
exists,
love
mate.
that.
No, I mean Gorilla's great too, but I just mean it's very difficult, regardless of how good you are to support, to bring the terrible AD carry to the CS and go, please hit it. I can't hit it. I'm playing a Janna. I can't CS for you with Relic Shield. You can bring him to water, but you can't get him to drink it unless he actively wants to drink.
Yeah,
he's just gonna go to. Oh,
I
I
mean,
mean,
his
his
CS, right?
His CS was good those 2 games, but yeah, again, that game was.
It was, but
Those were done anyway.
the first game was over 2 minutes.
I theorize the reason that Arrow's shit in lane is because obviously he's a Draven main, so he got up by playing Draven. Now, when you play Draven, like, you kind of just auto win lane, so he never actually learned how to lane properly. And so, and it's one of them, it's now too far gone. You can't just go back and learn the basics,
Okay. Of course.
Why? Because when you walk in lane as Draven, when Draven was amazing, people would oh, I can't walk near you or I die.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to
there
learn how to
goes half
actually
my health at
position.
level 2. This is totally balanced.
That was so much fun. Get Janna Shield on Draven 1Q and you're just bleeding dead.
Yeah.
Balance.
Okay, well, let's dig into SKT and KOO. So, Peter, if you want to start off SKT, because I believe you wanted to talk about the team that is clearly going to win.
Yeah, it's gonna win. We're gonna win OGN summer, and I'm gonna win a bet against Sam. No, it's yeah. We haven't done tape, man. We haven't done tape.
What was it? A lord or king?
King.
I can't
You
remember.
said king. We ended up at king.
Wait till the final. There hasn't been an upset yet.
Yeah, sure. No, so they're clearly probably not, even if they lose in the finals, they're clearly not gonna lose the game anymore, even though they still have a few tough matches, tough teams, top 6 teams to go against next week's. But they're probably not even gonna drop a game unless they super troll. I just want to talk because every fucking body. When this KOO game they were playing versus KOO, it's oh my god, Martin is amazing, this guy is so good, every fucking body. I saw tweets on my timeline, okay, and then I watched the games afterwards, because I was at work, it was but he just picked Fizz into Maokai, he got camped by Bangi, and he just had to clean up in late game fights after Faker always did all the damage.
Could have swapped Cuvée in and he would have done work.
That's how is this so impressive? And he still managed to die on sometimes just by being stupid and being Marin.
I don't think Marin is a bad player. No one's suggesting Marin's a bad player. But Marin is not Like he's not Flame. He's not like the best top laner in Korea. He's not even really top 3 top laners in Korea. Like he's just a guy who's getting carried by Faker. Faker takes like so much pressure that he can't help but look good. Like if he gets camped, then Faker will carry, and if Faker gets camped, then he has like a free lane, and he always gets a counter pick because of the way that SKT drafts work, and because of how every team when they play SKT just forgets how to draft apparently.
It's fucking.
Oh, so
Well-
it's like in a meeting. So okay, so what are we gonna do in this situation? Right. Well, what's Bengi good on? Isn't he good at Rek'Sai? Yeah, he's definitely good at Rek'Sai. What else is he good at? Okay, right. So there's definitely one thing we should do, and that's not let him get Rek'Sai.
Every game.
And the draft opens up. Should we ban Rek'Sai? No. Ban Gragas, and we'll take away the Rek'Sai. Okay, that sounds like a great plan. Weren't we meant to take Rek'Sai? Don't worry, guys. I've got Evelyn. That'll sort it.
It's dumb how much he gets Rek'Sai really. Like they always make
It sounds
Gragas,
like,
and he always gets Rek'Sai.
Like he can't even play
It's
Gragas.
like the Cloud9 where they played. They said they got tilted on the Lissandra pick, where they were gonna pick Lissandra red side as one of their first 2 picks, and they forgot about it.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, were we gonna pick Rek'Sai before they could? Oh, well, we got Eve.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I can rescue this game next time. But whenever we do, we have to ban the Rek'Sai. We have to ban the Rek'Sai. Bans load in. Oh, we forgot to ban Rek'Sai, didn't we? Don't worry, guys. We'll take it.
Oh no, it's first picked away from you. Too
Good.
bad. Too bad.
Oh, for crying out loud!
Too bad, KOO. Too bad. No, but yeah, Martin has solid gems right now. His Rumble is always good. His Maokai is always superb. And he has a lot of other stuff like the Fizz to counteract aggressive plays. He probably still plays Gnar as well. At least Gnar is for me never fucking great, but it's okay.
My issue with Marin is he's quite a silver spoon fed like guy. Like the time he played on a shit team was SKTS, where he looked shit. And now he plays with now he plays in the best team in Korea on on the best coaching staff in Korea, like against a bunch of other teams. You can't work out how to ban Rek'Sai. I can imagine Marin saying to people that you need to work harder and just work on your champion. Shut up, you little fucker!
Yeah, I made this comment on Twitter. Like he's just like the rich boy from who got into the college because he has connections with his dad, and he's like okay at fencing because he's good at it from himself, but then he goes to a tournament and there were some street kids who had to fight their whole lives and then got toughened up by it, and that's Juka and Smap, and then they beat him up and just like fuck it, we had to work our whole life, we just got spoon fed and then you managed to get here. Just fuck off, mate.
It's like I think Thorn did the top 20 best players before Worlds last year, and he didn't include some players from World Elite. Like there's some players he left out, and other people were like, "Well, what about him?" Like, well, when you're surrounded by greatness, yeah, you're gonna look great. Your resume is gonna look great, but motherfucker, you weren't the hard carry. You weren't the one that made it look great. Like if we look at SKT and we go, okay, we got Faker who's gonna draw retarded amount of pressure. You either dump on him and hope you can win before he becomes relevant, because he always becomes relevant, or you try to just keep him pushed in and make moves on the map before he can beat you. And then you have Bengi, who just literally will drop wards everywhere and will ward everywhere for Faker and Marin. And then you have the bot lane that's just going to play defensively passive and play nice. So Marin is going to literally get all the wards he can. No one's going to try and gank him because you're going to try and go after Faker. And he's still managed to fucking push too far and die in certain... Like, it doesn't really cost him games, but he'll be like, oh, I had a warding totem up, and they came through the river bush, and I just totally forgot to ward that, even though I walked past it and died. Those kind of things will forever prevent me from thinking he's better than even Someday.
And he's still
Better than he is.
Yeah, Someday, Smeb, Duke, all better than Marin. I think that's it. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that's it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he's 4.
you know,
But motherfucker, you're not getting higher unless you stop fucking dying and stupid. You have no reason to die. You have a jungler who does everything for you, a mid laner who takes all the pressure.
I'm not gonna blame him too much for his death's second game when they 4-man gank him with Silver ult and stuff, but
Well, those are different.
yeah,
I mean, when you push
yeah,
up
but-
and you have a ward in your inventory,
True.
you're like,
No,
should have
no.
used it.
Yeah.
No, but he
Like, okay, yes,
he-
bronze people know that, bud.
Yeah, no, it's stuff like that. I just call it typical Morin death when shit like that happens. It's just Morin. I mean, I just don't get the fucking whole Twitter explosion. Like, oh, he was so good. Like,
Yeah,
he
he's
gets
just-
a
having-
favorable matchup in a game where he had nothing to fear about anybody, where he even got canned by Wolf and Bangy. Like,
Yeah, of course he looks good. Like,
and then you're
ooh.
15k ahead, and yeah, he can clean up fights. So it's fucking hard.
Well, he's getting a mixed damage, basically carry, and
Yeah,
he's
of
just
course, he
able to
does full
destroy
damage.
people because you can Fizz just sticks on people.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
why
And
it's so dumb.
As long as you can hit the fish, you're golden. And people are like, "Oh my god, he's so amazing!" It's like, yeah, he's great against
You were
Maokai.
saying the
with
same
it.
thing about Lupa last year, like, and now Lupa's
Yeah,
on
oh my
M3,
God.
and he's like not even playing that well.
Yeah, Looper is awesome.
Lupa's getting carried by Chinese players. Like, he's just the Looper of this. He's the Looper of this season.
Yeah. Yeah,
Lupa was exactly what Samsung needed. A top laner who would say, okay, when they say teleport here now, he'd teleport, do what he needs to do, and that was it. He's
Yeah.
not amazing. He never was amazing. I want to see his contract and be like, holy shit, dude, you better like, where is the hush money you're paying Dandy and Mata to shut
Yeah.
up because you know you don't deserve that.
Yeah.
I mean-
So, who's the next one? Bengi.
Bangy, it's Bangy. I mean, Bangy's just he
He's had a resurgence since tanks have come back, but I mean, I don't really see Bangy hasn't changed.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't change. Like the good thing is, like it's since it's season 5, he even needs less mechanics, so he can do the same shit he did in season 4 and just be useless. Because going into a Rek'Sai tunnel, pressing some auto attacking people is not hard. And I mean, we never actually see him play Gragas, so I'm not even sure he's even any good on that champion.
He had 2 Gragas games that were good against terrible opponents, but
Well, I can see this already doesn't count. I know. I mean,
But again, Bengi's the same guy. He always gets Rek'Sai or Gragas. Like, he never has to play. He's never sit in a situation where he's like, well, Gragas and Rek'Sai are banned,
He
and
never
like
gets-
they've taken Evelyn. So like, oh, I guess I have to play like fucking Jungle Echo or like fucking like Lee Sin or something like that. Like, when was the last time Bengi got target banned?
yeah,
Doesn't
it's been a
happen.
while. I wonder
I think
if
people ban
ever
as
will-
Evelyn. People ban as Evelyn. People ban Rumble. Like when they're blue side, they ban Rumble, Evelyn, and like a Faker champion. It's like,
See, this is how they fucking always fail the big ban against SKT.
I mean,
I
because every team at the moment needs to ban Kalista on red side. I mean,
that is a problem, though. Yeah, they need. See, this is like the fucking problem with
Kalista Rise.
banning against SKT. Like you have to deal with all these bullshit champions that are OP. You also have to fact that if you leave Victor open, you're fucked. Because Victor is making that his new LeBlanc, like even better in a way. Because it's right now just way better than LeBlanc. Like, and then you have nothing left. You can't actually ban out Bangy without screwing yourself over and giving a shit ton of other picks. And Bangy will be fine playing Evelyn or Lee Sin and just kick somebody in a team fight. It's all he has to do. He just has a ward. It doesn't even matter what he plays. He could play Zac in the jungle and still be useful.
His team
He's banning a lot of
fighting.
Alistair
his
and
team-
Annie.
Yeah, his
Too,
team fighting
blue
is
side.
pretty good.
Oh,
I'll give
yeah,
Bengi that. His
No, of course.
team
Well,
fighting.
it's the same thing with Watch.
Yeah.
I have no issue with Watch's team fighting. There's a lot of junglers. I'm fine. Like they have great team fighting, but it's getting to that point in the team fighting
Bangy
that's
has
the real
less,
issue.
well, of course, Bangy has a lot less issues with that though. I think Bangy right
Yeah.
now. I just wonder if it's possible to actually ban him out since nobody ever seems to try it in Korea. I just want to see if it's possible because that would be my only problem with Bangy right now. Because you ban him out, he might be completely useless, and that would be a problem for SKT. But still, like he wards very well. He roams good with Wolf a lot, and he will put enough pressure down and enough wards down so that Faker gets rolling, that the bot lane gets going as well. and then they win the game. Like that's all Bengi has to do. It's all Bengi ever had to do in his entire career with Faker. It's just fucking be a ward bot, and
Yeah.
just now
I
and
want to
then
see.
apply some pressure, and that's it. And then they win. That's fine.
I'd love to see SKT play in LPL, just because there are so many junglers there that really can win the game themselves, and I would love to see because that's obviously the biggest weak point on SKT is that if you can pressure Bangi and push him out of the game and make him irrelevant, you can start to pressure elsewhere, and then it's pretty much can Faker carry.
The thing that worries me about SKT playing internationally is that their bot lane is not particularly like kind of stellar, and MSI, Bang, and Wolf really shit the bed, and really is like SKT that final game. And like even if like I don't think Bengi will ever get like shit on by another jungler because of his style doesn't really allow for it, and I don't think that you'll ever get to a situation where like a Chinese top lane is like wrecking Marin to the point where like Marin becomes like a sort of a hindrance. But I just worry about that bot lane mainly when they play internationally. You know what I mean? Like there are certain like you can't play passively against Imp and PYL. Like otherwise they'll just go in and wreck you. Like you can't play passively against Deft and Mako. You can't play passively against like TNT and fucking
Or
more.
TCT.
Yeah, or TCT, who renamed himself.
Yeah, internationally they're gonna have to rely a lot more on lane swapping.
Yeah,
which they're
and
not doing.
like their team fighting will really get like kind of pushed the limit if they play internationally because a lot of these Chinese teams are really, really, really good at team fighting, especially QG, who just like every time I watch them team fight, it's just like wow.
Yeah. My issue with QG is can Dune B get through the lane phase against Faker? I mean, I've seen him play tank Maokai and tank Nautilus mid lane. And I don't think that shit will work against Faker.
If you're tanky, then you can't die.
Sure. Faker's damage is dumb.
But I don't see SKT not winning this season. I mean, they have one last test. I think they play. Yeah, they play KT.
But still got the playoffs there, mate.
Wednesday.
And then they got like no. Oh
No,
wow,
they
they
have
play
to
KT
play
and
one
CJ
best of
next week.
5. Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then they have IM, Samsung, Sbenu.
No space in Jin
They're
as well.
gonna have to win one best. Yeah, they're gonna have to win one best of 5.
Yeah, and then they have to win one best of 5, which is not a problem.
The issue being is that they have shit stomped every 2 through 6.
Sure, every time.
They make 2 through 6 look like 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
They make teams look like Sbenu and Anarchy.
Yeah,
The worst of both teams.
But you know what? The telecom wars. I mean, last time they were shit, but
Yeah,
sometimes they deliver.
At least we have.
What you just said is the issue is that if they have Peekaboo and Arrow, do you really think Peekaboo and Arrow are gonna pressure Bang and Wolf enough? I mean, Peekaboo, yes. Arrow, well, no. I don't see Arrow being the guy to follow up and really put it to them.
Yeah,
that's the big issue.
Like, I think that will come out as a 2-0 for SKT, but you know what? Like, I still think that SKT aren't sailing clean to the playoffs, but because there are issues with their team, it's just no one's really capable of properly exposing them.
Yes.
Yeah, but the Korean teams can't.
No one's good enough to do it.
Chinese team could, but Korean teams are just not good enough to touch them.
Yeah.
To expose any of their flaws. I don't know. Well, we still have to like tell the rest, like mid. But yeah, Faker, like they did fucking better. Don't even bring Easy into Worlds or to any other game anymore. They can fucking lock him up somewhere. I don't give.
There's no reason for Easy to play anymore. Like,
No.
I'm sorry, it's just there's no point. Like
there was a very small blip on the map where his champion pool was more desirable in the current meta. A tiny blip of like a couple weeks, and then it was back to Faker. Where Faker's like, "Oh, I have to learn new champions. Okay, I did that. time to put him back onto his mountain of chairs."
Faker's better at those champions, anyways. So
he has become better.
Well,
except for his Azir.
No, his Azir is still better. Faker's Azir is better than Easy Wounds, man.
when he's not Russian nationality.
Yeah, maybe that's the point.
I mean, the issue too is we haven't really seen Faker get pressured.
Well, I still hope they
See-
fucking nerf Receive by the time Worlds get around. It'd be awesome.
They probably will.
God damn.
They're already like talking about. I've seen it a lot in the patch, like the PBE notes. So
And we're still about 6 weeks away from Worlds at least. So.
It's a lot more than 6 of them.
Oh, is it? Shit. Okay. Fuck.
It's October. It's September, October, man. It's like more than 2 months.
Oh fuck. Okay. All right. We've still got 10.
It's like
It's definitely getting there. We got it 10 weeks.
It's 4 weeks, and then it's still playoffs in every single region. International wildcard tournament still has to go in between there somewhere as
God.
well. Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And then
Who
afterwards
gets
it's a
6
break,
losses?
and then group stage starts.
No, the fun of international wildcard tournaments is always watching this Brazilian team that's apparently just as good as like NALCS teams or whatever,
Get
like
shit on.
lose to some Turkish team.
That was a joke from MSA.
Yeah, like, hey,
I mean,
do
lose
you
to
know
a
that?
Turkish team that abandons itself and disbands within a week after it bombs out of the tournament.
Yeah, like, don't you realize that Brazil as a region is actually more competitive than Europe? Like, outside of the top 3 of Europe, Brazilian teams are just as good as anything else. Like, oh, you can't even beat, like, bearing in mind that Turkish teams aren't actually as good as European challenger teams.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
They're below the challenge scene teams.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not talking about Turkish or Brazilian teams.
Okay.
No.
Well,
About real
we can move on to
real
KOO
regions here.
because unless KOO bombs out, unless CJ, I think the only way CJ can, as long as KOO gets second or third and CJ doesn't get second place, they're gonna move on with circuit points.
That's
Because
Good.
the only team that's ahead of them, I mean, KOO has 70, CJ has 50, Jin has 30. I don't see Jin doing anything. KT
Yeah,
has
like-
10.
So the situation for KOO not to go to Worlds is for CJ to beat KOO in the playoffs, and so they get more circuit points, and for SKT to not win, win this.
And not lose to KOO. KOO can't win because winner auto qualifies, and then it goes circuit points, and then it goes to the gauntlet.
Yeah, but if SKT win the summer split,
They're-
then surely it's competing with the second most circuit points that gets the automatic spot to Worlds.
Yes, and the
Yeah.
only way that can happen is that if KOO ends up fourth, if KOO ends up second, if they go into the
final.
into the playoffs as third or second, they're in.
Guaranteed. No, if they enter third, they could still lose and then be 4th placed.
Yeah, but I mean they have to be fourth, and CJ has to be second
No, they could be
because
third
they
as well.
need to make up.
I thought.
No, that would be they tie.
Oh,
circuit
would
points.
they tie then? Oh, okay. Well, then they tie and they have to pay a tiebreak.
No, CJ would yeah.
Would they win? I thought CJ would win then.
They would be so yeah. So KOO just needs to get above fourth.
Yeah,
Then they get
that's-
third or
if they
second
get
or
above
third, and
fourth, they're solid. But they should probably get above fourth because I don't see them losing that many series anymore now. Now SKT is gone. No much reason to, unless they totally tilted after losing to SKT. And
I think KOO just have to play Najin.
they play some good teams, but it's like 50-50. And
Yeah.
I checked it, but I can't remember. I think they have to play KT.
KOO plays Anarchy and Najin this week, and then they're moving on to KT week 11, their only game, and then they move on to Jin and Sbenu is the last week.
Yeah, so not much.
I mean, KT is going to be their biggest one in week 11, but it's
Last
both
time they
teams'
played Najin,
game.
they got destroyed.
When was that though?
Week 2.
Oh, that was week 1.
Or week 1 even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Najin beat KOO 2-1. When did KOO play KT? First. Oh, they beat KT, so they have the tiebreaker too between KT.
Yeah.
I don't see KOO really losing any of those teams though.
No,
So
maybe KT.
what happens when KOO Tigers play internationally?
Well, let's see.
Like
Let's go to NAEU. So, EU is probably going to send Fnatic, Origin, H2K. Do you see any of those teams being able to beat KOO?
I don't
Basically,
think.
do you think Fnatic can
No.
beat KOO?
I don't think they could beat Fnatic could beat him because they're too organized in their early game. Fnatic, they drive too much on just beating you. But KOO has better strategic play. They would outplay them.
Yeah, KOO has better macro play and KOO has better team fighting. But I think if Fnatic can like refine some aggression in the early game,
yeah,
like I think the big weakness for KOO is this idea they play a really aggressive Chinese team who won't let them come back, won't let them make a comeback. That's KOO's weakness right now, I think. Is if they play a really, really aggressive Chinese team.
I guess in that way, Fnatic is similar to it, but I don't think they're good enough for it. Reignover is like, ugh.
Well, we're not talking about Fnatic here. That's just not. It's not Europe talk.
No.
Veteran.
No. Fuck off. It's not.
I just mean I don't think a European team outside of Fnatic is going to challenge teams at Worlds, and I don't think I think Fnatic could maybe get good enough, but I mean. We've only seen Game Over play in Europe since he's gotten the name of Game Over.
Yeah, it's fucking shit.
I mean, KOO's weakness is definitely their jungle, but Wisdom usually is able to at least exert enough early pressure to really help.
I don't think Wisdom will have any problems with.
Unless they have Hojin play Trundle jungle again at Worlds. Yeah, the biggest hurdles are going to be Edward Gaming, who I think simply outclassed them.
Yes.
If they play their MSI lineup, I think that will be better than them.
Yeah.
Even late game. And then you have Kaoju. How do you pronounce that? QG?
Yeah. QG. Let's just call him QG.
Okay, QG.
Xiaogu,
yeah, that's it.
The advantage that that KOO Tigers would have over EDG is that they would have a better top laner and a better support, a guaranteed better support, but their AD carry difference is pretty larger than the difference between Sbenu and KOO. Not large, but like you don't even know what lineup EDG are going with. Are they going with Amazing J, or because like EDG have like 50 players or something ridiculous, and like Pawn, because of the kind of player Pawn is, I think KOO will actually do fine against Pawn. Because what Pawn relies on doing is he relies on over-aggression from the enemy and then punishes the over-aggression. He's basically supercharged GBM. Like, that's why if you lane like a bitch against Pawn, Pawn lanes like a bitch against you. But like, the way he punished Bjergsen at Worlds was because Bjergsen was like too desperate to try and make a play. So he just he would capitalize on the weakness. That's the strength of Pawn. And then like Clearlove versus Wisdom, like I think Clearlove's better. I'm not buying this hype that Clearlove's the best jungler in the world. Like, but
I do think that he is instrumental in EDG's wins, though. But I mean, I think that's also an inherent part of being a jungler.
Right now, definitely.
Yeah, when you look up jungler in the dictionary, there's a big picture of Clearlove, right? Like, but. Like, and I do think EDG would win in a best of 5, but I do think that KOO Tigers could probably take it to 5 games if they really if they found a few like if found a few good drafts and that kind of thing, and Smeb went off in a few games or whatnot.
Yeah. EDG isn't that hyper aggressive Chinese team, so that would be beneficial for KOO.
I mean, the only worry you've got about KOO Tigers is they choke in international competition again. I still don't think they actually choked. I still think they sort of tried too hard to start in game 2, and I think they just thought it was a bit of a joke. Like the whole story about how they were playing champions they'd never played before in scrims against TSM and that kind of thing. I think they thought it was a joke, and they thought they were just going to walk in, get the prize money, and fuck off. And then once they lost that like troll game, I think they just kind of were just like, I don't know. Something happened, I think, in those comms in that game 3. But I don't think that'll happen to KOO again, because Korean teams aren't historically known for like sort of choking continuously.
No, usually if they fuck up or tool around and lose, it's like okay, we really need to. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We're going to grind you into the dust regardless.
Yeah, like next time, like I don't think they're COG. They're not gonna make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, no, that hopefully won't. And they have also have groups, so they'll have easier opponents to just practice on. Not just the 2 games they had at IM.
Yeah, I guarantee that KOO Tigers will get out of groups. The only way they could not get out of groups is if
no,
they got like seeded with like EDG and like Fnatic or something.
Yeah, but
That's not possible because they'll be ranked 1 seeds from there.
Yeah, they can't get 2
but
ones.
they can have a 3rd place Chinese team, but I mean,
Yeah,
they probably should be able to get a game off that anyway. So.
But even if they get a first place NAU team and a 3rd place,
EU
say in their
teams.
second, and then get a 3rd place Chinese team, I mean, that's.
It's still pretty
I wouldn't say it's out of possibility, but that.
Oh,
I still don't see them losing.
No, that's fine.
I think there's a chance they might not make it out in that specific way, but I don't really see any of the Chinese or Korean teams not making it out of groups again like it was last year.
That's a point. Like it's very unlikely KOO would lose. No, they're probably gonna get out of groups. The question is if they're gonna make it a lot further than quarterfinals.
So I think the only real positive that we can see from at least looking from China is that I would say, well, I guess Snake and Xiaogu are pretty crazy early game, but EDG and LGD going in, they're a lot more like structured than just going, oh, we're just gonna fight you all the time.
Yeah, KOO Tigers have better macro play than any Chinese team. So if they can get it to a macro game, 100% win it. And their team fighting is really good. Like again, they're still a Korean team. Korean teams aren't weak in team fights. They're still really good in team fights. Can still outfight Chinese teams. My issue with KOO Tigers is if the early game they can just get kind of squished in the early game, and then because they'll be equal at team fighting. If you're equal at team fighting with somebody, you can't team fight yourself out of a deficit. You require being superior in the team fights. So.
Or having a better comp.
Yeah, or having a better team fighting comp. But, like, if they have a better team fighting comp, that would lead you to think that in the draft phase that they then sacrifice laning power for the better team fighting comp, which would mean that they would just get stomped too hard in the early game to really make the... Like, it would be they're just not... I just don't have a full confidence. I think they're a good lineup, and I think they've got some good players, and I don't think they would do that badly internationally. I think like semis is kind of a respectable idea of where they're going to finish, but I do think they could lose a full best of 5 to a Chinese team, or possibly to Fnatic.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening either. I still think I would still put my money on Smeb over Huni.
But then Febiven versus Koro.
Depends what Fevin gets, really. Okay, he is not always on point, Fevin, in every game. I've seen games where he's like pure shit. So you keep Reckless from the Callista, and I think... And then...
Well, keep anyone from the Callista. Who gives a shit who's playing it?
Or Preycon.
Okay, I care, but...
Yeah.
Wild Turtle, I mean...
Yeah, exactly. There are some, like, but definitely, like, some... There at least have the teams there you do not want to give... at least have. You would just... Callista has to be permaban, just to make it easy on yourself.
KOO Tigers' danger would be if they didn't manage to get out of groups in first place. That would be their danger zone, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
which is
fucked if they don't get first place.
Yeah, because then they would then that's when you smack against EDG in the playoffs. Like you're like,
hit
oh
EDG,
shit.
SKT, you're gonna hit one of the better Chinese or SKT, and you're just gonna hit a brick wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really see. I mean, I don't see any threat outside of China to any I don't see any Chinese or Korean team feeling against anyone other than themselves.
The positive of Fnatic is this is probably the best Western League of Legends lineup when you talk about like true international play since season 2. You know what I mean? Like when you think of a team that could really do well internationally.
Season 3, Gambit and Fnatic were also decently in the international.
Yeah, but they couldn't have beaten Najin Blacksword or.
It's close.
Okay, that Gambit versus Najin Blacksword series at season 3 was deceivingly close. Okay, if you look at the champions that Najin Blacksword played in that series, they did not play the same champions they played against SKT. Expression Expression played Diana in the game that they lost. He didn't play Diana once against SKT.
No.
And Watch spent like the entire time on Nunu, and Nagane played loads of Nidalee. Like they didn't play those at all. Nagane didn't play as Gragas against Gambit, and yet he fucking wrecked SKT on that Gragas.
That's that series was who had the Gragas.
And Prey played a lot of Twitch, but he didn't play any Vayne. But he played a lot, and he didn't play. I think he played Ezreal like once or something, but he didn't play as Corki, and he didn't play as Vayne as well, which are champions that he played against SKT. Like, I definitely think that Najin Blacksword went into that series thinking we don't want to show too much of our hand because we're going to rely on the surprise factor to beat SKT. They knew the bracket, and I reckon they thought they could beat SKT, but they had to have extreme conditionals to do it. So I don't think that series was as close as the scoreline would indicate it was.
No, but at least, I mean, they did beat. Yeah, alright, that is shit about though, but they did do something.
And again, like Fnatic are an organisation, you talked about Season 2 Worlds, they played legitimately well, and they legitimately looked like a sort of a top 8 team in the world. All I think is this new Fnatic lineup is just a top 8 team. I don't think they're top 3 or something like that.
I think top 8 would be great for what they've done.
And I think with the right seeding and stuff like that, they can make a semi-finals.
Oh, they're gonna be so lucky in the seeding.
Yeah, they'd have to be lucky in both groups and seeding. They'd have to be a TSM lucky.
Well,
season.
I would see Fnatic maybe beat the third Korean team, maybe, depending on who
the
goes.
third Korean's KT. I don't see that.
No. Well, probably not when it's KT. No.
But I mean, who else? Who else do we think is going to make it out then? Jin Air seems to be crumbling by pulling a Najin from last split, changing out players.
There was a time where I was like, Korean teams going to Worlds, Najin, Jin Air, SKT, done on the Jin Air. Still hopeful for Najin, but I'm done on that as well. You know what?
Kind of done on CJ too.
I still can't believe that KT are going to Worlds. I just can't.
Yeah, it's actually amazing.
We've been in this position before. KT have looked stronger going into the Worlds qualifiers and not made it.
So yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm gonna still say what I said last week. Since batches are still happening and third place is decided in the gauntlets, anything can still happen.
All I can say is, it would be hilarious if a third straight year, KT looks like the best team going in, like not the best, a good team going into the gauntlet and loses to Najin.
It's likely.
Because they didn't lose to Najin the first year, but it'd be 2 years in a row because KTB lost again to SKT season 2 or season 3, and then.
It was really Najin that stopped KT going to Worlds in season 3 as well. Because in season 3, because in that OGN winter run, if KT Bullets had beaten Najin Blacksword, then they would have probably gone on to win OGN winter because they were actually like a pretty good team back then. But like Najin Blacksword just found this horrendous form where it was just like Song was playing well, like whoa, like so like it just got wrecked, like but. Like yeah, I just can't get behind KT going to Worlds. I just think, you know what, like we've been like KT Arrows.
We've been here before.
Yeah, we've been here before. I know how this episode goes. Like I've watched this episode before. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be so sad. But anything else you guys have about KT or KOO or SKT?
I mean,
we're going to touch on the other teams, top teams, next week. But
I want to talk about SKT. Like, do we think any team but EDG could beat them at Worlds?
I think
I don't think EDG could beat SKT.
So
At the moment,
can any team beat them at Worlds?
Not unless they're Najin with Tank and Peanut.
Yeah, but we all know that would happen. So okay.
I think at the moment, if Worlds was played right now, SKT is to have like the heaviest favorite
Yeah, but
going in.
that's mostly
and
because EDG has like
it-
still issues.
I think that'd be a positive thing for any of the Chinese teams because they don't have to have the pressure of like, oh my God, we're supposed to beat them. It's kind of like, well, look at them. We've beat them at MSI and they're still claiming to be the favorites. Let's shit on them again and show them what we are. I just think it'd be an easier mentality to have of coming in as the underdog versus
Yeah,
who
but-
SKT is supposed to come back in and win the world again.
Yeah, but I don't care what anyone says. SKT lost that series because they played easy here.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I understand that.
I will say
understand.
that until I
I,
Yeah,
I
but-
too watched that series. I watched the one before that too, where everyone's like, "Oh my God, Fnatic almost won." I'm like, "Yes." And then Game 5, SKT was like, "Oh shit, let's play how we've almost always played in the previous like split, and just completely make them shit the bed." And that fifth game was 100% convincing, and it was, "Oh right, we actually have to play the champs we normally play."
No, yeah,
And
Yeah.
until like the first 4 games were okay, we're gonna fuck around.
I'm,
I don't think it was quite fucking around.
no, they.
I just think that they
Well, they
revealed
did
some.
pick a 0 to Z. Like they fucking asked for it then, and then kept trying to 1v1 Fab and was like, "Come on, mate, it's Z."
I think they did fuck around quite a bit
It's
for the
fucking
first
Z,
few
man.
games. The fifth game was clearly them putting on the game face and just destroying, making everyone remember why Reignover earned his name.
Game over. I mean,
I mean,
I'm more and more getting convinced they can easily win, but you know, I want to see other worlds.
I think this is the first World Finals where, you know what, like, I'm not 100% that a Korean team's going to win.
Yeah. But it's still over 50.
I don't
though.
think a non-Asian team is going to win.
Well, that always happens.
I think that's like I don't see that happening with the current system being
No,
set up
it's
ever,
No, it's not.
unless a full 5 team is finally allowed to make it and play in NA or EU.
What, well, then they have insane money to buy, like, some of the best players in the world, yeah. So, like, no, but, like, I don't think, you know what, like, I think this is China's best chance at winning Worlds.
Yes, of course it is. But
If they can't win Worlds now after, like, gutting the entire Korean scene,
Then
buying all the good players, like, expanding their league to 12 teams, having the most, like, kind of insanely stacked LPL competition ever, they can't win it now, it's never gonna happen.
No, they just
Nope.
need to get what they'll learn is more dump trucks of money.
Yeah.
same. No, yeah.
They can't buy any more Korean players. There's already like 100 over
Yes,
there.
they can. They can make a fourth. I was
Yeah,
gonna say they can make a third league, and I'm like, but they have 3 already. They can make a 4th.
They can keep
There's-
playing them. Own health. I mean, it's now or never. But I think it's just sad that EDG just decided to like fuck off after MSI and just.
It's not just EDG; it's every team.
Well, yeah, but mostly EDG.
And now they
I already thought most other teams fucked up anyway, even before MSI. Only
the
EDG
new
was the slow one.
playoff format really fucks teams that did that though.
What's the?
Like you can see that some teams have been like, oh shit, we need to really turn it on.
I have
Yeah,
no
the
idea what
new-
the Chinese format is.
Yeah, it's this really long double elimination format, which based on seeding and that kind of thing.
I'm gonna try and find it real quick. I believe
There's like 20 best of 5 series or something ridiculous.
Well, last year was fucking insane too. I mean,
Yeah, well,
EDG won both splits and still had to play a best of 5 to win it.
And then they lost it. So, no, I did. Did they?
No, they got first seed.
They got
and then
first.
they-
I 2-1 to 3.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the food poisoning.
And it was
Name.
it was fucking weird. Definitely, it was weird and then switched between best of the. It was, I don't know, you know. I know I disliked this format last year. Definitely for the because the upper bracket one had a crappiest advantage and stuff.
Okay, check this out. This is the format.
Shit, this is not good.
8th plays 7th, winner plays 6th, winner of that plays 5th, winner of that plays 3rd, or winner of that plays 4th.
No, so 8th plays 7th, and then the winner of 8th and 7th plays 6th.
Oh, it's the
Six.
gauntlet.
That winner goes on to play 5th.
Fifth.
Then
The winner
then the winner of that plays 4th. But
fourth.
then the
The loser
loser
plays
of that,
third.
but the loser plays 3rd, and then the winner of loser and 3rd plays the winner of 4th and like the upper bracket.
Okay, yeah.
No, because because the lower bracket, so the 3rd place seed gets put into the lower bracket. Like it's so like that's what I mean. It's this weird like kind of.
Wait, why is
double
first then in the upper bracket? The fuck? Why would they put fourth in the upper bracket and third and then? You
No, so second has to play. Second has to play. 3rd. Well, second has to play the team that either is 3rd or beats 3rd, which means that which separates the seeding of 1st and 2nd because 1st basically will have
first gets
like,
easier. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, first gets the easiest road to the finals, but like at the same time, like you have to proper grind it out. So if you're 8th, you have to play. Let me think. 1,
So
2, 3.
1, 2,
4.
3, 4,
You can play 6. 6 best of 5s.
Yeah, you've got to play 6
Because
best of 5.
if you win all the way to 5th and then you lose to 4th, and you move down and then you lose to 2nd, you have to play for 3rd place, and you have to be the 6th game, the 6th best of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to. Yeah, there's such an insane amount of best of 5s. Like it's such a grueling.
This is less than last year's.
Yeah.
At least you can't fucking get back up after you lose. I mean, you can't actually compete for the first
At a certain
place.
point, you can. After
No, you
like
can't. You can
no,
only.
third.
There's a point where the loser of the of second,
you
of
actually
2
can.
and
Yes.
5th.
If you fall out of the first 3, if you fall out of the first 3 matches, you're out.
But then
after that, there's a loser bracket.
There's still kind of.
Except no, the first
Only
3,
one.
and then loser of whoever lost the 5th versus 6, 7, or 8, and 3rd. If they lose there, they're automatically out too.
Yeah. Well, they have to place for 3rd then.
So it's kind of like a mix of gauntlet and upper bracket, lower bracket.
Yeah, a weird mix.
Really weird.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it will be pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna watch that.
And the Taiwanese League finals are coming up on us already anyways, too.
Yeah.
That's this week. Yeah, it starts Friday.
No, okay, I should check that.
Friday is I have no idea what their names are by symbols. I think it's Hong Kong. I think it's Toys' team. Yeah, Hong Kong Esports versus Midnight Sun Esports, and then Midnight Sun. And then the winner plays Flash Wolves, and the winner of that plays HQ. And I don't know if first and second team. I don't know if they have a circuit point system either, but I know first pretty much goes to Worlds.
Probably do.
I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Flash and HQ. So, but we're getting into weird different regions. So let's wrap this up.
Let's just look at next week's games.
So next week we have a fun game to start the week off. SKT KT, Telecom Wars again.
Yeah.
This is pretty much the last week SKT will even get challenged.
Remotely try maybe claim.
KOO vs Anarchy is gonna be pretty sad for Anarchy most likely.
They're better. KOO better 2-0s.
Jin Air IM. So Jin Air better win.
They better also.
I mean, Jin Air has the softest schedule. If they don't make it into at least like 4th place,
every single win right
they
now.
they don't deserve it.
They
have to play all the bottom 4 and Najin.
Yeah.
That's all they have left.
They also have the lowest amount of wins right now, so they need all these bottom wins badly.
Yeah. And then you have the great illustrious game of Sbenu versus Anarchy.
Maybe shot for Sbenu to actually win this? No, they won't.
No.
They want to win the series.
SKT versus CJ.
Stomping like hell.
That should be pretty fun to watch. Number 1 versus number 2 mid laners.
It's gonna be that's the only thing. Well, it's
The only
fun,
highlight.
but KOO has to carry 4 dead bodies with him, and Faker gets I don't even mean he gets carried, but I mean he gets all the support he needs from his team.
At least the bodies Faker has are just warm. Like he just has to escort them across
Yeah.
the finish line. He doesn't have to drag them.
And they supply him with some food and stuff and vision.
Yeah.
They help him.
Then we have KOO versus Najin. I think Najin games are always interesting because you never know which fucking way they're gonna go.
You
and
never know if they're going to play Peanut Tank as well.
No, we already accepted that they would never.
I kind of accepted that. Even with their current roster, you never know. Are they actually gonna play champions KOO can play,
That's
or
the
are they
point.
gonna play? Are they gonna fifth pick Kassadin into a losing matchup and just get shit on again?
We're probably just gonna get disappointed again, or we might see a fucking epic Smash vs. Duke game, but they'll probably just put him on Maokai again, and like it's gonna be boring as fuck.
It seems like the Kespa gods are gonna be nice to KT and give them Samsung the end of the week in order to be able to beat them as mercifully as terribly as SKT will beat them in the beginning of the week. Like SKT is going to destroy KT, and they'll be like, "Well, at least we get to destroy Samsung."
Yeah.
Poor KT. So
the two big series, you got the Telecom Wars, which will likely go to SKT, and then you've got KOO versus Najin. Anyone want to make any predictions about KOO versus Najin?
2-0 for KOO. Maybe if Najin plays.
Wait, do we know what patch they're playing on?
5. I think it's gonna be 5.30.
Will it be the new AP? I think it's gonna be the AP one. Yes, I think it's 5.
Well, it doesn't change that much, except like.
It does change AP. It makes a couple changes. AP.
Yeah, but like the meta is in general still very similar.
I think
Except
I think it'll be 2-1 to KOO.
Well, yeah, I was actually thinking maybe Najin figured out in their last series that they should maybe play TF and they should put Okim on Lucian so they could actually maybe win a game before KOO.
I don't think Okim needs to play Lucian. I just think he needs to play champions who can actually carry on. Not necessarily Lucian.
Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, like anything else but Silver and Tristana, she stop playing.
No, he's good at
I need to
Tristana.
play Sever. Sever's amazing.
No, yeah, Silver, sure, but fuck Tristana. Yeah, he's amazing at Tristana. He always was, but it's just not as strong.
Tristana, your comp needs to be, we're gonna push towers real quick, get a gold lead, and go from there. And Najin doesn't exactly do that.
He's better on Lucian.
I still think it's probably gonna be 2-1.
Yeah, I will change to 2-1 as well, because I think Najin might actually learn something this week. But you never know, they could just build the like I said, like, well.
Najin learned things.
Yeah, I don't know. You just
Fuck
hope.
out of here.
But I do know I'm gonna get disappointed again, so that's why they're gonna lose. Because it's Najin. They're only like, they're actually a game up on everybody else. Or
Yeah, they've played
14 games. What the hell? They have played 14 games.
them and CJ.
Yeah. Actually, generally still tied in. Okay.
I think that's about it for the week.
Yeah.
Couple fun games.
Yeah. Thanks for the show. I guess we should just end it now.
Yeah.
Alright, can just cut it.
See you next week.
See you next week.